select. And right now we get off to a storming start with Simon Biaggi and Gridlock.
Thank you very much. Hello, and thank you for joining us here on Gridlock, the word game where we continue to search for a champion of all things wordy. Contestants from all over the UK have lined up to have their skills tested to the full, and as 3 of them battle it out each day, only 1 will go through to the next stage of the competition, but will test vocabulary, tactics and speed of thinking as we go. And those contestants today are Chris Harrison, who's a PhD student, Trisha Krill, who's a physiotherapist, and Leigh Adams, who describes himself as a jack of all trades. Welcome to Gridlock. The first round involves double meanings. Many words have more than one meaning, and I'll give you a series of clues to different meanings of a single word. To answer, just give me the word to which the clues relate, and then you'll get the opportunity to place a letter on our grid, hopefully making up a word or some words, and the longer the words you make up, the more points you score. 3 points for a 3-letter word, and up to 20 points on offer for a 7-letter word. No plurals or proper nouns, but we'll continue to play until either there's no more time left or there's no more space left on the grid as it becomes gridlocked. So that all seems fairly straightforward, and we'll start with individual questions. But before that, Chris, a PhD student in which particular subject?
Computing.
And whereabouts are you?
Imperial College in London.
Rightio, well, we'll start you off with a nice easy one. Which word is to walk heavily and noisily along? And it's also a vagrant.
Tramp.
Tramp is right. And a letter for the grid.
A in 10 for ear, please.
Ear, a 3-letter word for 3 points. Trisha, a physiotherapist. Is that in a hospital?
No, it's within a private clinic.
Right, so what sort of people do you help?
Usual people who suffer neck and back pain, but also we deal with a lot of sports injuries.
Rightio, okay, well here's your starter. A symbol on a telephone or typewriter, and it's a mix of potatoes and onion fried. And it's browns. So, onions and potato fried up would give you something browns.
Hash.
Hash, yes, and it's a symbol on a telephone or a typewriter, hash. So we're all off and running, and you can place your letter.
Can I have a T in 8 for tear, please?
T in 8 for tear, which is a 4-letter word for 5 points. Leigh, a jack of all trades.
Indeed.
What does that mean exactly?
I do anything to earn money. To be honest, I've got a small club, a cricket club, UCS Old Boys, that I look after, and the rugby club there. I also do everything else, small minibus, I drive people around. Yeah, you name it.
You really are a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Let's see how you are with words then. Which word is the period of mating for deer? And it's also a furrow made by wheels.
Rut.
Rut is correct. And your letter for the grid.
I'll have an A in number 19 to make or.
Which is another 3-letter word for another 3 points. So you're all scoring now, and it's a chance to put your fingers on the buzzers. First person to buzz in gets the opportunity to answer. Which word is to gain a base without the help of a mistake or error? Chris?
Steal.
Yes, without the help of a mistake or error in baseball. Steal a base.
Can I have a B in 17 for bore, please?
Bore, which is a 4-letter word for 5 points. This word is a prefix, meaning or. It's also the Greek god of pastures, with the legs and feet of a goat. And a nifty set of pipes too. Trisha?
Pan?
Pan, yes.
Can I have an O in 27 for 1?
For 1, that's another 3-letter word for another 3 points. An awning for a wagon. To joust. And to lean, slope or heel over. To lean, slope... Leigh?
Fall?
Is incorrect, I'm afraid. Trisha and Chris. To lean, slope or heel over. To joust. And an awning for a wagon. Something happens to one of those pinball machines as well, I think. Chris?
Tilt.
Tilt is right, yes.
Can I have a D in 21 for board, please?
For board, which is a 5-letter word for 10 points. This word is a late edition of a newspaper. Chris
Final.
is incorrect, I'm afraid. Trisha and Leigh. It's also a run scored in cricket from a bye, leg bye or wide or no ball? Lee.
Extra.
Extra is right. And do you run a cricket club or something?
Yes, indeed.
Well, that's easy for you then. Off you go with your letter.
I'll have an A in 30 to make Matt.
To make Matt, and that's a three-letter word for 3 points. So the score is now Lee with 6, Tricia 8, and Chris in the lead with 18. This word is to leap or skip about, to frolic or gamble. Chris
Hop.
is incorrect. Lee was next on the buzzer.
Play.
Is also incorrect, I'm afraid. So Tricia, to leap or skip about, to frolic or gamble, an activity or pursuit, and a small edible flower bud pickled and used in cooking. Anyone got it now? Caper. Small edible flower bud, pickled and used in cooking. We'll move on with another clue. Which word is a type of light hand-plaited man's hat? It's also a canal between... Chris.
Panama.
Panama, a canal between the Atlantic at its western end and the Pacific at its eastern end, and you can place your letter.
Can I have an S in 12 for tears and saw?
Which would be fine, and that's a 5-letter word and a 3-letter word, giving you 13 points. 2 words that are spelt differently, pronounced the same. To run away. Chris.
Flee.
Flee, very well done, is F-L-E-E, and a little blood-sucking insect. So you can place your letter.
Can I have an N in 33 for sawn?
Sawn, that's a 4-letter word for 5 more points. So the score is now Lee 6, Tricia 8, and Chris 36. Which word is the exposed vertical surface of a cliff or quarry? Tricia.
Face.
Face is correct, and your letter.
Can I have an E in 32 for mate?
For mate, which is a 4-letter word, 5 points for you. This word is a device which overturns a freight car to empty its contents, and is also to booze habitually. So somebody who boozes habitually, they do this. Tricia.
Tipple.
Tipple, yes. I didn't know that. A device which overturns a freight car to empty its contents.
Can I have a in 13 for car?
Car, which is a 3-letter word for 3 points. A compartment or division of a wooden wall. A group of people who appear together on TV to discuss issues or play games. Chris.
Panel.
Panel, yes. So I guess you're the panel for the day. And you can place your letter.
Can I have a T in 34 for tent and rot?
Yes, that's a 4-letter word and a 3-letter word, giving you a total of 8 points there. So single letters scoring lots of points, and another clue. Make a snapping or munching noise while chewing. Tricia.
Crunch.
Is incorrect, I'm afraid. So Lee and Chris, making a snapping noise or munching noise while chewing, and it's a short form of champion. Lee.
Champ.
Champ is right, yes.
Can I have a D in 14 to make sad to follow the tear?
You can indeed. That's a 3-letter word for 3 points. To be in a particular state. Food or provisions for the table. Tricia.
Supply, I was going to say.
Is incorrect. Okay, so Lee and Chris, to be in a particular state, food or provisions for the table, and the price of a passage. Passage to India, perhaps. The price of a passage, food or provisions for the table, to be in a particular state. Out of time, I'm afraid. Fare. Price of a passage, your fare. A couple of words, they're homophones. They are pronounced differently. Sorry, they are pronounced the same, but they're spelt differently. Dirty and disgusting. Poultry. Chris was first.
Foul.
Foul, F-O-U-L and F-O-W-L. Lee was just behind you, but Chris, you can place your letter.
Can I have an E in 24 for a bet?
A bet. A 4-letter word for 5 points. Something less than the whole. Tricia.
Part.
Part is correct, yes. Have to hurry you though.
Can I have a E in 15 for 8?
8, which is a 3-letter word for 3 more points. This is a fairly difficult one, I think. One dedicated to monastic life. Chris.
A monk.
Is incorrect, I'm afraid. So Tricia and Lee. One dedicated to monastic life. And it's also like a sphere flattened at its poles as an orange.
Say that again.
Like a sphere, flattened at its poles as an orange. One of those chocolate oranges that would open out.
Eclipse.
Is incorrect, I'm afraid. Tricia, any ideas?
Sorry.
I did say it was a difficult one. Oblate. Yes, quite. We'll move on. Maybe slightly easier, this one. To get into an almighty fluster or panic. An immovable attachment on the wing of an aircraft to alter lift. Tricia.
Flap.
Flap is right, yes.
Can I have an E, not an E, an A in 22 for team?
Team, which is a four-letter word, for 5 points. And we'll move on with another clue. A body of people of the same political persuasion. Chris.
Party.
Party is right. One side of a lawsuit too, and you can place your letter.
Can I have an S in 25 for rose?
For rose, which is a four-letter word, for 5 points. And that brings us to the end of the first round. So at the end of that first round, Leigh has 9 points, Tricia has 24, but Chris is leading so far with 54 points. But there will be plenty of time for Tricia and Leigh to catch up in the second half of the show. A lot of points on offer there. As we take a break, why don't you practice some word power at home? Which word is an exact tally or likeness, and is also something that you might light a fire with? I'll tell you after the break.
Now you could cut the cost of buying a brand new fitted kitchen by calling Kitchens Direct. Kitchens Direct aims to give you extra value and extra savings because it has no showrooms and no middlemen. Instead, you deal direct with an expert team of designers, fitters and highly skilled craftsmen to give you a complete kitchen service at an amazing price. So call Kitchens Direct now on 0800 123 321 and we'll send you a free copy of our brochure as well as information about current offers. Call 0800 123 321. Kitchens Direct. Why pay more than you have to?
Just imagine that first glorious moment when you curl up with your new K's catalogue. There's so much to look forward to. Because now it's bigger and better than it's ever been. With more fashion, more sizes, more colours, more kidswear, more brands, more sportswear, and more value for your home. It's a massive 1,200 pages of relaxed, out-of-town shopping. If you're not yet shopping with K's, this is how you start. Call 0500 111 414 for a free catalogue, and we'll give you 20% discount off your first order.
Shocking, isn't it? All over the world, children like these are living and dying in heartbreaking poverty. Poor housing, dirty drinking water, and a lack of food, healthcare and education mean that families simply never have the chance to build a better future.
It doesn't have to be that way. Plan International provide practical help for over 2,000 communities in 40 countries. And with your help, we can do even more. Sponsor a child through Plan International and you'll make a big difference to a whole community for years to come. Your money, the equivalent of just 40 pence per day, will help dig wells and build clinics and schools. In return, you'll receive regular letters and photos. I've been sponsoring a child for 3 years now, and like Plan's 50,000 other UK sponsors, I love seeing the permanent difference my support makes to the lives of children and their communities. And if you've got a heart, I think you will too. Call 0800 30 8022 to find out more.
Go on, make a difference.
Call Plan now.
Cut the cost of a brand new fitted kitchen. Call Kitchens Direct now on 0800 123 321. That's 0800 123 321.
Thank you very much and welcome back. So which word is an exact tally or likeness, and it's also something that you might set fire to something with? Match is what we wanted. And it gives us a rather tenuous link to our word search, because what you're going to be searching for are words on the theme of tennis, like tennis match, you see? Very tenuous, as I say. But you'll all have a grid of letters in front of you, and hidden within that grid are 10 words on the theme of tennis for you to uncover. And each of you will have a minute in which to do that. If you write them down, you get 5 points for each one that you uncover, and if you get all 10, you'll get a bonus of 10. So it's worth trying to get them all. As I say, 1 minute in which to do that. If you're ready, you can turn your grids over, because your 1 minute starts now. Words on the theme of tennis. And they're liberally sprinkled throughout that grid. If you're trying it at home, don't just read across, but backwards. diagonally, up and down. And if you are trying at home, half your time's gone already. So I'm sure if you've only watched Wimbledon just the once, you'll know most of these tennis terms when we show you them. But the thing is, you do have to find them. And your time's almost up, so the last one perhaps. And that's it, your time is up, so please put your pens down and find out how well you did, Leigh.
8.
8, and you almost got 9, I think, did you?
No, almost.
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 Trisha?
Not very well, 5, I think.
5, and Chris?
9.
9. Right, well, Leigh, we'll start with you and find out which ones you did manage to find.
Doubles.
Doubles, of course, right across the top there.
Lob.
Lob, yes, running down.
Pass.
Pass, yes, running backwards up that right-hand side.
Serve.
Serve, of course, yes, a diagonal one.
Deuce.
Deuce, yes, around the left-hand side.
Net.
Net, tennis net, of course.
Ace.
Ace, that's the one we're all after, running backwards.
And game.
And game, well, yes, a tennis game. So that is 8 for 40 points. And Trisha, you said 5.
Yes, I think this might be a 4, actually.
Oh, let me see then. Which
Honestly,
ones?
guess. Doubles.
Doubles you got, of course.
Let.
Let, yes, we didn't have that one before.
Serve.
Uh-huh.
Deuce.
Yep.
And because I got stuck, I put love.
Love.
I don't think that. I'm not sure if that's there.
Let me think.
It was good.
It's not there, I'm
No,
afraid.
it's not there,
It
no.
would be a good one if it was
a good
there.
guess.
So that's 4 for 20 points. And we'll move on to Chris. You said 9.
I did, yeah. I think I got doubles,
Yep.
deuce, pass,
Pass, yep.
let,
Uh-huh.
set,
Set. Did we have set before? And I'm not too sure if we did. There it is. Running straight down.
lob, serve, ace, and game.
And game. And so that is 9 for 45 points. And you managed to uncover all 10 of them between you. So the scores now: Trisha 44, Leigh 49, Chris 99 points. So as we go into our third and final round, Chris is in the lead, but there are plenty of points on offer, so Trisha and Leigh can certainly catch him. This is take 3, where I offer you a 3-lettered string. Your job is to add other letters, making up a word. You can add up to 4 other letters, which will give you the maximum 20 points for a 7-letter word. So you must make up a new word, beginning with the string and its fingers on the buzzers. Your first string. S-C-A. Leigh was first.
Scat.
And you have to spell it.
S-C-A-T.
Which is a 4-letter word for 5 points. Do remember to spell the word as soon as you've told me which one you're thinking of. The next string, A-L-C. Leigh again.
Alcopop.
And you'll spell it?
A-L-C-O-P-O-P.
OK, I'm going to check to see if that is in our database, because it is a brand new term, I think.
Oh.
But it has to be in the database. Alcopop is not, I'm afraid, in the database. So I'm afraid you're just a little bit too with the times there, Leigh. No points. Trisha, you were next on the buzzer.
Alcove. A-L-C-O-V-E.
Which is definitely in the dictionary, and that is a 6-letter word for 15 points. The next string, D-O-U. Leigh.
Double. D-O-U-B-L-E.
A 6-letter word for 15 points. P-A-I. Leigh again.
Paint. P-A-I-N-T.
Which is a 5-letter word for 10 points. And the scores at the end of that little stage: Trisha with 59, Leigh 79, Chris 99. And we'll change the way that you can use the strings. This time you can use them anywhere in the word, but they must be used in the order in which I give them. F-O-D. Trisha.
Fodder. F-O-D-D-E-R.
Which is a 6-letter word for 15 points. Y-B-R. Y-B-R. Slightly harder now. Anything? Leigh.
Eyebrow. E-Y-E-B-R-O-W.
Which is the one I was thinking of, and that's a 7-letter word for 20 points. And you can raise them at me if you like, Leigh. I'll give you another. That's 99 points to Chris, 99 points to Leigh, Trisha just behind 74, and another string. A-C-Y. Chris.
Racy. R-A-C-Y.
We'll just check that to make sure that is in the database. It doesn't really look right to me, but it is in there, and that is a 4-letter word for 5 points. TTU. Leigh.
Tutu. T-U-T-U.
Which is a 4-letter word for 5 points. And so the score is neck and neck between Chris and Leigh, 104 points each. Trisha with 74. The next string, AAI. Trisha. Oh, I'm afraid you have to have the answer as soon as I press the buzzer. Leigh.
I haven't got one either.
You haven't got one either?
Honest.
I can offer it across to Chris then.
Again, A-G-A-I-N.
Which is fine. That's a 5-letter word for 10 points. So do remember, if you buzz, you must have the answer, otherwise you'll be out of time. E-U-R. Leigh.
Europe. E-U-R-O-P-E.
That would have to have a big capital, I
It
think.
would indeed, and I
So
knew
we
it
can't
as
have
soon as
that.
I said it.
Chris was next on the buzzer.
I was going to say Europe as well.
Okay, Trisha.
Euro? Can you have that? Or is that still capital?
Well, we'll check, make sure, but I don't think so. It would be a 4-letter word. But no, there's nothing in the database on that, so we move on and to give you another clue. D-E-K. Leigh.
Deck. D-E-C-K.
Which is fine, that's a 4-letter word for 5 points. D-F-L. Trisha.
Deflame. D-E-F-L-A-M-E. Deflame.
Deflame. D-E-F-L-A-M-E, and that's a 7-letter word. We'll check that one in the database too. I have to check them all in the database to make sure they exist, otherwise I can't give you the points. And let me tell you that the database comes up with nothing under deflame. Leigh was next on the buzzer.
Duffel. D-U-F-F-L-E.
That is definitely in the database, and that's a 6-letter word for 15 points. Another string. GPO. It's a good acronym. GPO. That slowed you down a bit. And you're out of time there. Gestapo. I feel a bit like the Gestapo trying to get the answers out of you at the moment.
Sorry.
We'll give you another clue. I didn't even get it out. V-I-O then. Leigh was first.
Violin. V-I-O-L-I-N.
Which is fine. It's a 6-letter word for 15 points. V-V-E. Trisha.
Vivre. V-I-V-R-E.
V.
Vive.
No, I'm afraid, well, probably that's French, so I can't offer you that, but Leigh was next on the buzzer.
Velvet. V-E-L-V-E-T.
Which is a 6-letter word. You could have also had velvety for the 7. Never mind, 6-letter words get you 15 points. And that brings us to the end of the game. So some last-minute scoring have changed the positions quite considerably. Trisha with 74, Chris with 114, but the Gridlock winner for today with 154 points is Leigh. So we have to say commiserations and well played to Chris and Trisha. You don't go home empty-handed, you take away the Gridlock clock, pen and keyring. So Leigh, our jack of all trades, will you join me in the spotlight for your one-on-one with the grid board? You said to me at the beginning, has anyone ever had a score of nothing?
Indeed I did.
And here you're through to the next stage, hopefully gaining enough points to take you through to the next stage of the competition, maybe even going on to be the Gridlock champion. Just as in round 1, we offer you a grid. This time the computer has placed at random on that grid 7 letters. You'll have 15 seconds to study those letters. So let's have a look at your grid. And then you'll have 90 seconds to make up as many words as you can. They can be across or down. Remember to give me the letter first and then the square. You don't need to spell them, but you do need to declare each word that you want to score with as you go along. So, your 90 seconds starts now.
A in 9, T in 10, E in 11 for late, R in 12 for later, A in 31 for 8, B in 30 for bait, A in 29 for abate, A in 34 for tea, and an R in 35 for tear, E in 14, V in 21, E in 28 for never,
Halfway through your day.
A in 1, L in 15 for all,
be some
N
small
in 2 for no, a T in 3 for ant. N in 16 for nan. A in 19. V in 26 for rave.
Oh, you're out of time.
That was poor. I don't think I'm going to be through to that final, do you?
It's very hard to... I know what you're trying to do, but it is hard under that pressure
It's
of the
actually
spotlight.
incredible.
Let me see how well you did do. Lee, if I tell you you need about a score of 200 or more to get through to the next stage of the competition, you scored 65 points. Spin your round quickly, add that to the scores from the previous rounds, gives you a grand total of 219 points. So you take home the clock, the pen, the key, your choice of book, and I should think we will be back playing for a CD-ROM in the later stages of the competition. So well done, Lee. We'll see you again, I hope. We'll be back with 3 more contestants next time. Goodbye.
Comedy with the Kellys next tonight when Jenny gets caught shoplifting and Ben's lucky fishing hat goes missing. Catch up with Hey Dad after the break.
A slice of life.
We are the elect, actually, God's elect.
Tomorrow, 8:30.
You can't be a problem.
Mind the Gap with Paul Ross.
Stand clear of the doors, please.